Olympus has just announced its latest entry-level camera in the OM-D lineup. Or should I say, entry-level interchangeable lens camera with intermediate-level features and even some pro camera capabilities. The Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV. Stay tuned and I'll tell you more. Hey gang, this is not a review. You know that I don't make reviews. I am an Olympus visionary photographer, which means that I am sponsored by Olympus. But I assure you, all words, thoughts, and opinions in this video are mine. I'm not being paid to make this video. So stay tuned, and I'll give you my honest thoughts along with some images that I shot with a Mark IV. And I'll let you know how and why this camera will fit into my workflow. As promised, the Olympus Imaging Division is moving full steam ahead with its product development roadmap, and they've just announced this latest update to the OMD lineup, the OMD EM10 Mark IV, which replaces the OMD EM10 Mark III, which is the camera that DP Reviewed named as the Intermediate Mirrorless Camera of the Year in 2017. And I have to tell you that I predict this camera could take that title for 2020 because many of its upgrades come from the pro-level OMD cameras like the EM1 Mark III and the EM1X. Olympus is using the phrase urban explorer, but I would suggest that this is a camera for people who like to take a camera with them everywhere, every day. But they want better quality and certainly a greater range of optics and controls than they can get with their smartphones. Now let's face it, smartphones are capable of making great pictures, but they're very limited, especially when it comes to the optics. The biggest feature for me is that this camera is small enough to take anywhere, anytime, and I can fit it comfortably in a jacket pocket. The camera is also designed to make photography easy for smartphone users who are making their first steps into the world of mirrorless cameras and interchangeable lenses. Predefined scene settings for people, motion, indoors, nightscapes, scenery, and close-ups help beginners get the settings to prioritize what's important in their shot. Or beginners can use the auto mode, which takes out the guesswork and detects the scene, the lighting, movement of you or your subject, and will even find your subject's eyes, all to get you results that will far surpass a smartphone. The new OMD EM10 Mark IV has a lot going on in this little camera body. It features a 20 megapixel 4/3 sensor, just like the EM5 Mark III and the EM1 Mark III and the EM1X. The camera runs on a TruePic VIII processor like the 5 Mark III and the EM1X. Also, like the three other cameras in the OMD lineup, the new EM10 Mark IV features USB-C charging, which allows you to charge the camera directly from lithium battery packs or even your laptop. I should also mention that the new EM10 Mark IV is lighter than its predecessor, the Mark III. Now, when's the last time that you heard of a camera being upgraded with a more powerful processor and more features with less weight? The camera features a flip-up and flip-down LCD screen, which of course is great for selfies. It has the same continuous autofocus system as the EM1X and the same face and eye detection capabilities as the EM1 Mark III. And it features 4.5 stops of in-body image stabilization, which is an added benefit to the video capabilities of 4K video at 30 frames per second and 120 frames per second at 720p. Now, it's also worth noting that the EM10 Mark IV has some of my favorite unique Olympus features like the art filters and live composite. It also features live time and live bulb, multiple exposure, and well, the list goes on, and my list has just scratched the surface. For those of you who are into all the specs, follow the link in the video description to my website where I shared all of the detailed specs. When asked about Olympus in general, I have said many times that Olympus really put the fun back into photography for me, and this camera, it's no exception. In fact, it pretty much ensures that I will only use my smartphone to take a picture if I'm desperate. While I'm not a big fan of shooting with a camera at arm's length, that's what we do with a smartphone. So I shot most of these images that way to show you how easy it is to work with this camera, even in bright lighting conditions. Most of these images were made with the Emswico 12 to 45mm f4 Pro lens. That is a 24 to 90mm full frame comparison that is small and lightweight and also has the ability to do near macro shots with a 12cm minimum focusing distance. For a beginner making their first step into the mirrorless and interchangeable lens world, this camera is simply easy to use. It has pro-level features at an affordable price and works with an incredible array of Emswico lenses. For intermediate and advanced shooters, this is the camera that will never leave your side. Small, lightweight, and capable of performing like your pro-level camera or being used like a point-and-shoot. This camera can hold its own as a feature-loaded adventure camera or a great backup camera to an EM1 Mark III or EM1X. Pair it with the Olympus OI Share app and you can edit and share your images on the go. All of my images were shot as RAW and developed in Luminar version 4.3. You can check out the full-res versions of these images on my Flickr profile. The link, it's in the description below the video. Now I have to tell you that this camera is simply a lot of fun to shoot with. Small, lightweight, and full-featured, it looks and it handles and works like my pro-level Olympus cameras. It honestly hasn't left my side in the 2 weeks that I've had it. I hope you find this information helpful. Regardless of what camera brand you use, have fun. And until next time, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos. And hey, don't keep all this cool stuff to yourself. Please share it with your photography friends. Remember, photography is not a competition. It is a passion to be shared. Now go pick up that camera and shoot something, because your best shot, it's your next shot. Adios.